Hello and welcome to Trucking Answers. It's the Sunday Rant. It's rainy. Don't get as many cars in the bad weather in the wintertime. So we'll have to get right into it without a car preceding it. Look, this week, there were a couple issues this week that I noted. Number one, I'm driving into Illinois from Indiana on I-74. Okay, so people know where that is. Beautiful. And I'm coming up on a truck that's got all the wings and fuel saving stuff, and it's going slow. And I thought, all right, so since it was red, I know this is a Nussbaum truck because they're out there saving fuel, doing all that stuff. And I thought, fine. So as I pass the truck, I note the trailer tandems are where? All the way in the back. When you get up to the tractor, it says certified red on it. Right. So this is one of their certified red drivers, which is a program that they have for continuing education. You know, their best drivers are supposed to be in this. They constantly are, doing better or whatever that they do there. So it's not just their average driver. This is better than that, and people that enroll in it and do better. And so why are the tandems all the way back? Where's that education? That's, my question about that. You are not allowed to run that way in Indiana or Illinois. All right. And so what I was hoping for is that because it was raining that day, the driver's just lazy and didn't get out there and slide them. But what it could possibly be is they don't know the difference. What is that taught in the continuing education, and who's teaching the classes? Do they have a driver with practical experience, or is it just somebody who read a book or who's also had a class about it and then teaches classes to these? What does red mean? If we're going to have people out there driving and you're going to put a sticker on their truck that says, hey, this driver, we teach this driver, and this driver is in a program that, puts him as one of our better drivers, then that should be reflected in what they're doing. So that driver should also then not be lazy if that was the problem. But I know that these kind of education things don't necessarily work out, because I go in the office this week, and who do we have in there? So there's a driver talking to the people in there because they had an extra day. They're like, oh, I do this extra day, so 6 days of work, right? And he's like, yeah, I'll do it. So he wanted to do it, and they're clicking and clicking, and they go, no, you can't do it because you're not going to get a 34-hour restart. And the problem with that is he only works about 8 hours a day, 7-8 hours a day. Doesn't have a huge workload. And he's like, oh, all right. So, and I'm like, you don't have to have a 34-hour break. And then up from the corner pops, I don't know from where, I guess they have kind of a break glass in case of emergency. They break glass and out pops a trainer. Oh, yeah, you have to have a 34-hour break. I'm like, you absolutely do not, right? And this is the problem with companies. It is not a requirement that every week you have a 34-hour break. I don't know if anybody else doesn't know that. It isn't required. It's available for you to use really at any time. You can have 3 of them every week, okay? You can work a day and have a 34-hour break, okay? Or you can work and never have a 34-hour break, depending on how many hours you work. The break is not a restart, a 34-hour restart, right? Would be a better word to call it, I guess. It's not a requirement. But then here we have a trainer, and I know that in our training program, right, where they train people to be trainers, okay, there's really very little to no experience required, and the class is taught by someone that is not a driver and has never driven. They've never driven a truck, and in fact, when I talked to them once and asked them, they had never even been in a truck. And that's who they have teaching the class to people that will teach new drivers. And this is why we have a problem in the industry. One of the many reasons that companies don't care. They don't care at all about really anything. And so they'll have anybody do any job just because they're willing to do it, not because they're capable of doing it. They just continually lower standards and lower standards to where we have a trainer who's arguing with me about that you're required every week to get a restart, which you are not. All right. So I don't know. And I'm like, Google it, and they're like, oh, okay, so they're looking it up. And that's the other problem. They're going to accept, I thought he wouldn't do it. They're going to accept, well, I'll just take what the internet says over a driver who's standing there with a lot of experience. So, and this, by the way, the trainer here at my company had been driving like 2.5 years. So that's pretty awesome too, right? So that is part of the problem. So I have this red driver with not running legal, okay, in these 2 states. It's not a huge problem, but somebody, if they're going to put a sticker like that, that bothered me the most. That says, okay, here, this driver, this is a certified red driver. Okay, so then I'm going to assume this driver is going to do things right. They're going to be better than just the average Joe out there who's harassing waitresses in, a tank top and flip-flops, which I still see people wearing. He's going to be better than that, but wasn't. So we're going to hope he's lazy. And then here arguing about 34-hour restart. No. Right, no. There should be an experience level. There should be a test, a serious test that people have to take to get into this kind of thing. But really, there just isn't. And it's very, very unfortunate because the new drivers then that come up, because what if this person is training someone? I don't know. I don't know if they're allowed to train there. If they take trainees, I don't know how that program works. So that person then is also not going to learn this. And it just goes on and on. And if anybody gets a ticket, they'll be very frustrated and say, oh, I had no idea. Right. You had no idea because the industry doesn't care if you have an idea. As we talked about in a previous Sunday Rant, they would rather you left. You came in, made them a little money, and then booted the heck out of there because, you're going to start making money too, so they got to get you out of there. Fix yourself, trucking. Okay? That's what I think. The industry needs to go and take a look in the mirror and make that change. Remember who said that? One of the best philosophers of our time. That's correct. Mr. Michael Jackson. All right, so that's it for this week. Thanks for watching, and we'll be back soon with another Trucking Answers.